true. You're gonna be the best mom in the world. We're gonna be the best uncles ever.
Yeah, so, oh man. You always got to do the show intro, you know what I'm saying? So then, you know, kind of. You always got to have that show intro. Tonight we're going to get a little brewski. The end of July. The end of the July fry. My God. When I'm younger, I just turned 45, and I realized that like now, you know what I mean? You obviously when you get older, you notice time's going faster, but also it seems to be there's lots of noise, obviously, you know, always in life, no matter what age you are, but every year of my life felt like an episode or something, like a chapter, and you know, like a different place, a different journey, a different job or something. And then now it just feels like, yeah, like it's just, oh, it's another one. Like it doesn't seem to have like any magic attached to it anymore. It's just like, oh, I'm still alive another year, and that's about it. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah, I guess that's the illusion of youth. You think that everything is magical when you're a young person. And you get excited about New Year's when you're young too. You're like, all right, a new year, yes. And then the next year you say, all right, a new year, yes. And then and on, right? And then until one day you're like, a new year, oh. Yeah. Oh, another one of these things. No major hurricane, no Hurricane Dexter. Yeah, I'm just about to finish up the latest episode of Dexter Resurrection. Yeah. So will that Hurricane Dexter be coming? If it reaches Texas, it could be called Hurricane Texter. Sexter. Rexter. Well, we'll see. It might hit up Florida or Georgia or somewhere else if it comes. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Dexter. Yeah. Rexter. The Hurricane Tyrannosaurus Rexter. Sounds epic. I don't know. I guess after what happened on July 4th, I guess Texas needs a break. In a very serious way. Do I think? Well, I mean, it's not. They actually do have cloud seeding corporations that do seed clouds to drop rain to help out farmers. I guess that's the goal. But I don't know if the July 4th catastrophe in Kerr County, Texas, was a cloud seeding related event. So, weather modification, HARP. Weather modification. Now, maybe if you told me this when I was working at a movie theater way back in the day in 1998, and I saw The Avengers, based off the old British adventure show with Diana Rigg, but this one had Uma Thurman and Ralph Fiennes, and it had the late great Sean Connery in it, and yeah, if you would have shown me like The Avengers based off the British sitcom, that movie about, I will control the weather, I will control the world, I would have been like, oh, that's bullshit. Or like James Bond movie where some guy's like, I'll control the weather, ha 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 ha, I am God. Well, it's, yeah. Maybe in the old days, in the last century, I might say, well, everything's not possible. I might have thought that back then. That might have been my belief system. But now, with so much science fiction becoming science fact these days, or apparently, seemingly, I don't know. Now I'm starting to think that there are no real limits to technological evolution. Now I almost think just about anything's possible. Although, a positive person would think, oh great, all these great things are possible with technology. And but of course, on the flip side of that coin, so is all the evil and terrible things are also possible as well. So, double-edged sword technology. You can cook a meal, or you can set someone on fire. Like if you look at Prometheus, so fire is a technology. Nuclear weapons, you can harness energy, or you could blow people up. And now when they teach you like World War II history in like school, public education system, they tell you about, how many deaths were lost in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. They may not tell you the nice little details that some people were actually vaporized. So the atomic blast vaporized them in a certain radius. And so that means their entire bodies were incinerated, and then it left nothing but a shadow in the wake of the incineration. the vaporization. Very interesting fact. They don't usually teach that in school about the vaporizing. Hey, they didn't surrender, okay? We gave them plenty of warnings to surrender, right? Jeez. Stubborn warrior culture like that, an honor culture like most Asian cultures are, they fight to the bloody end, to the very last man. Honor. Because failure is, of course, worse than death itself. It's more dishonorable to live like a loser than it is to have died trying to win. That must be from some old Shintoism samurai code of war or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, let's go get that beer. Dulce et decorum est. It is honorable to die for one's country. The poet died in World War I. At 28 years old. Dulce at decorum est. How sweet it is. Dulce et decorum est. What was his name who died, 28 years old? It's been a while since World War I, hasn't it? Wilfred Owen. There he goes. World War I. Okay, Wilfred Owen. He didn't get to compose much else because he's dead. Because he died. Hey, all right, I'm going.
Okay.
Love you. I'll be back. I will. Yeah, through the path.
No, not in front of Jim's house.
Right, so the sensor doesn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah. the guy with his bicycle, he didn't have any reflectors. Plus, he was black too, so I didn't see shit. So it kind of scared the crap out of me. Not because he was black, but because I couldn't see who he was. Hopefully, he doesn't get run over or something. Hey, how's it going? Happy Saturday night.
Yeah,
Good night so far?
good night. Super. Good. You still have this one?
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. 11.90.
Oh. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Good night. Now, if I was riding a bicycle late at night, especially at my age, I would have a, yeah. I think my stepdad gave me some shit for my bike, some blinkers, you know, so people could see me. I think that kid had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt on. So, if it was a kid, I suppose it was a kid. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle powers. Yeah, that's it. Is that like the kids that were born especially the people that I've met, the men that I've met, the guys that I've met, dudes in society that were born from like 1983 to like maybe 1983 to 1990 maybe. Like those guys, they all have like love for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they all have like these things they have in common is that they have these like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drawings that they did when they were a kid, and it's like kind of like a sacred thing to them. Yeah. I'm back. Woo! Love you. Thank you. Whew. Huh? I know. I love y'all. Me love moons. Going to beer. Hey, Tula. I love you.
When you left Bella Bark and wanted.
Oh,
Oh, she went in the bathroom. Do you wanna go lay down? Yeah, but do you wanna go lay down, Bella? You wanna lay down on the bed?
Bella Booba.
You wanna lay down on the bed?
Love you, Mom. Thank you. I'm gonna put my shoes up in case Tula tries to eat them.
Oh, yeah, the black, the
Yeah.
Hey, do what?
I love y'all. Don't worry about that, y'all. I just like to go out in the black of night like Batman sometimes. The shadows are my friends, the darkness. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess the night's cooler, especially in Houston, Texas. It's more exciting. Yeah, it's kind of like more exciting too. It's like, it's the dark night. It's the dark night. The darkness, the blackness, the mystery. Like a black kid with no no lighting on his bicycle, hauling ass, coming out of the shadows with his Ninja Turtle shirt on. That was just so exciting. Oh, I didn't expect it. Right. No, I'm not calling him the N-word. I know a lot of people online are calling black people ninjas and stuff like that. No, he really did have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt on. With the heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. Love you. Huh? Somebody to play with? Killa wants to play all the time. We were partying. It's like we're not super old, but in dog years, Bella's real old and can't handle it. So, Oh my God, really? Is is that from Saturday Night Live? Oh. Oh, that is from Saturday Night Live? Oh, okay. Oh, it's like a Psycho Gumby or something? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was funny, Mr. Bill. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Mr. Bill. That's something like claymation. That's something that's not really hot right now. Yeah. In the age of CGI and AI and AGI, is there super general intelligence? There's all this shit. Supreme intelligence. Yeah. Is AI like the death of painting? The death of writing? The death of all human artistic and creative endeavors? That's a good question. I know things will never be the same again, as they were in the old days. So, yeah, Mr. Bill claymation from Saturday Night Live. Kind of like a dark Gumby. Do I like stop motion animation? Do I like claymation? It's kind of tedious, but it seemed fun at the time. Let's say that. Yeah, I used to run old film projectors before digital. And then George Lucas of Lucasfilm was like, I'm going to bring digital and beam, signals in the information to the projectors to show the movies instead of the old film. So then the projectors and the film became a relic of a bygone age of filmmaking. So. Is there any things from the past that I still find charming, like even better than today? I guess I still have a love for. I can't say I really have a love for cassette tapes or VHS tapes or Betamax or anything. I would say one thing that is really still cool to me is Polaroid pictures. I'm still fascinated by that. So. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the Polaroid pictures because you have the film stuff, and then you take an instant snap, and it comes out the little. I still have a Polaroid deal in there, but I don't have any film for it, so I can't take snaps. And yeah, so Polaroid is very iconic. Of a picture type method, picture taking method, because it's instant, and that you have a picture right there, like, and some people might say, well, I have an iPhone or Android that does the same thing. Yeah, but it's not like but the iPhone does not produce. It's not a machine that produces a picture that you can hold in your hand, like a Polaroid did. So that's the difference. Is the tactile contact with the moment and the people, and having evidence that you were there. So like a phone, if you don't keep your files in different computers, different devices, then your phone could die, and you could lose all your information if you don't have a iCloud storage or whatever. Flash drive or whatever you call it. Yeah, I probably need to hurry up and get some of my old 1980s VHS like camcorder stuff converted into digital on a DVD or CD or something. So yeah, especially there's some memories I don't really want to lose of older people and the times of the past. So America as it was at the end of the 20th century. I'd like to keep some of that data and have some evidence of it. Yeah, no cell phones, just camcorders and Polaroids and picture snappers and Kodak, Eastman Kodak, and also just tapes back then in the 1980s, VHS. And we got, you know, like in the simple times, what the family would get together and have those, like, you know, Clark Griswold family reunions where all the people get together. It's fun, and there's a big backyard, and you know, out in the country, and with all the people and the family, and people just have a good time. You know, kids play, and like my aunt and uncle had this tire swing out in the country. We would just have for fucking hours just fucking playing with the tire swing. It was a blast. No, my favorite part was that they had a backgammon. They had a backgammon set up in the back of the property, and out in the boondocks in Liberty County, Dayton, Texas. Just everything's iconic about America as it once was. You know, you got like the mailboxes and the big yards and the houses, and it's just like the perfect. And so, yeah, that's one of my favorite memories, playing badminton, not backgammon. That's the board game. Yeah, we were playing badminton, and yeah, I just remember like how fun, how happy everybody looks on those old tapes, on the old camcorders. Just people just playing birdie with the badminton and laughing and shit, and you know, just something simple like badminton. Something as simple as me and my cousins on the tire swing, you know, just spinning around in the tire. And I know that like a swing is okay, but the fucking tire swing, a big tall tree is like the fucking bomb. And yeah, so it kind of struck me the other day. They showed Elon Musk his new robot Optimus, and it showed the Optimus robots playing badminton like humans used to do, like we're already like an extinct species or something. Yeah. So I got to preserve those memories of just humans playing badminton before I go to a badminton court and I see just robots playing one day. And I can remember when the humans used to play. And I could tell young people that are watching the robots play badminton, I could say, "Hey, boy, I'm back in the 20th century. Humans used to play badminton, you know?" They'd probably laugh. They'd say, "Humans? What are they good for? Good for nothing." I say, "Oh, go on with their newfangled way, youngies." I want to do this neuro porn over here. The neuro porn? Yeah, I don't know about that, but it'll be like Strange Days with Ralph Fiennes, and Angela Bassett, and Tom Sizemore. Like you jack in your brain to the drug of the experiences, and then you see like the three lesbians, and you're like in a porno in your mind. You're like sucking titties and shit. That's like Strange Days. Are we there to that level of dystopia of Strange Days yet? I guess it's getting there. I think that Metaverse shit by Mark of the Beast Zuckerberg, that was just one step closer to the strange days to the metaverse. Mark of the Beast, Zuckerberg. If there was an Antichrist, I really thought it would be either him or Sam Altman. And then now people are talking about who's the candidate for the Antichrist. They say it's like Peter Thiel. Yeah, it's one of those, or one or more of those, or agents of Satan, or maybe it's Bill Gates still. But Bill Gates of hell. But I always thought that Sam Altman and Mark Zuckerberg, they share the traits of somebody, really socially awkward and inept. And they really seem like Antichrist, like prime Antichrist candidates to me. They always seem like that. Despite Mark of the Beast Zuckerberg's attempts to look like the dude or whatever, to grow his hair out and to look like a hippie and all that was weird, bizarre rebranding where he's acting like he's a hippie now or something. Mark of the Beast, Bill Gates of hell, Sam Alterman, Anti-Man, or is he really Sam Anti-Man? Sam Altman. Creepy shit. I don't know, that guy Sam Altman, he gives me a creep vibe. Yeah, that guy's like... Yeah, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg has always given me an awkward, creep-ass vibe, but fucking Sam Altman, that motherfucker takes it to almost to the next level. So what is the choice that people are given in a society run by billionaires and tech pros? Are we given a choice what technology comes next, or do they just get to write the future and we're just passengers along for the ride? And that's it. Well, we could refuse a chip in our forehead or our hands. We could refuse Neuralink, or we could refuse invasive chips and biotechnology inside of us. We could do that. Yeah. We could just resist for the rest of our lives. That's a good tactic. Non-violent resistance with critical thinking skills. That's fair enough. If they all jump off a cliff, we could say, well, I don't know. If they jump off a cliff and they all jump off, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah. Maybe I should see what happens when everybody jumps off a cliff, and then I could wait and analyze the results and see if it worked out or not. How about that? So... I never want to be one of those guys that was like, got a biochip implant, and then all of a sudden, my soul's in my mind is controlled by Satan or something. So that's just not going to be a viable possibility for my future. So. That would not be a viable option. So. Yeah, I guess we were all sold like this idea of the American dream when we were little kids and stuff. You know, a lot of people were sold that idea, that dream. You know, if you just get out there and pound the pavement and go work 40 hours a week, you'd be getting somewhere. Yeah. Getting closer to slavery forever. But I'll tell you, yeah, I know they did the Digital Online Protection Act for children in the UK. Yeah. So the idea is that, and I guess they're trying to do it in Texas and America too, trying to protect children against pornography and titties and stuff like that. Bush and, you know, like, they didn't have the internet in my time. They had Playboys and Hustler, and they had titties, and they had Bush, and they had vaginas and buttholes. And, well, Hustler, they had buttholes and vaginas. That was nastier. But then Playboy they covered up the pussy hole. They covered up the vagina and the woman's butthole. But like, so this print technology, this printing technology that was invented by Johannes Gutenberg back in the 1500s or whatever, the printing press, that it allowed us to get smutty material, erotic material to men. And then when video came out, then it was possible to, they made the first porno back in the 1920s or something. It's kind of funny, right? Like the first porno. It's like, it's the first time they're like, we're getting naked on a camera? Like you can see, like, if you saw the first porno from like 1920, you're like, oh, you know, like these people, I mean, this is like the first porn, you know, that's a story in and of itself. You know, like, who's the first guy who thought, I could make a killing the first Girls Gone Wild guy, right? The first pervert. Like, he wasn't the first pervert, but I'm saying, like, he was the first guy to, like, say, like, you know, oh man, look, there's this new camera video technology coming out. What if I got this idea? You know, people can't see naked women on television or in cinema. What if I make movies where women get naked and do sexual deeds? Oh, man, that'll sell like hotcakes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that sex is immoral. You know, I think certain types of sex or sex crimes are immoral, but I don't think sex itself, sexuality itself, is a crime, or wanting to have it or do it or enjoy it or see it or participate in it. I don't think that in and of itself is bad. You know, in and of itself, I'm talking about, right? Just in its pure form. So the idea is that, right, that there's going to be stricter control on the internet, and it'll be for the safety of children. The idea is that, see, parents, they love their children. And when their kid begs for, Daddy, can I get the adult internet, please? Okay, what's going to happen is the kids are going to find a way against any kind of government corporate safeguard. They're going to find access to women's buttholes and OnlyFans and titties because they're kids, because they're teenagers or whatever. So they're going to, like Asma Gold said from Austin, Texas, obviously they're going to find a way. Like, I realized, like, even if you tried to regulate naked imagery or sexual imagery or acts, it's still, the children are going to find a way around any kind of government or corporate control, and they might even just use the conduit of their, parents who don't give a shit, and that might be their way. But they're going to find a way. Yeah. Life finds a way, right? Like Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park and Michael Crichton. So, yeah. But the rule, the internet rule, taking away kids' phones. The rule that they're going to take away kids' phones and the internet so that their brains can learn and interact with the natural environment besides the internet and computer screens, so that they can socialize and develop social skills and human skills, so they don't become Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg, awkward, scared shitless robots with no social skills and no idea how to interact with other human beings. That's a great idea, though. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. Okay, so the schools in Texas, they're banning the cell phones from the schools so the children's brain could socialize, learn human interaction, human cooperation, and human communication while their brains are developing from whatever, preschool to 16. And the teachers take away all the gadgets and all the phones and all the laptops or whatever it is, so they're not just on social media watching bullshit 24/7, and instead of learning something about the world or learning a vocation or a career or something useful to society. Yeah, that's good. That's actually good. Now, a school has the power to do that. A school could say, government and a school could say, you know what, we're worried about children's education and their psychological development, so we're going to take away their phones every time they come to school, and their devices and their gadgets, so they can't surf and goof the fuck off until they get out. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, they can't really cheat that, right? Because it's like built into the law. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the only children that can escape this out is if they got special needs or something. They're retarded, or they're fucking trauma, or they're fucking mentally ill or whatever, right? So they have seizures or whatever the fuck it is. So really special needs folks, disabled folks, and cripples and all that stuff, all that hoot. Now that one, the kids, they could try to beat the system and bring a burner phone or get an extra phone or sneak in a laptop or something. But if they get busted, who knows, maybe they face detention or they get expelled or something. So it's not even worth it to even try. Once your shit gets locked up, you should just keep it locked up until, from that time period, that wonderful 8 hours of the public education system, where we all become geniuses, obviously. That wonderful 8 hours of the public education system every day, Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, 7:30 to 2:30. The magic of the public motherfucking education system. where people become geniuses. Yeah. So they have that magical time where they don't have their dopamine hits from the device. And they're like, they have to watch the teacher. And the teacher has the computer. So the teacher can surf the web. Yeah. The teacher can make the presentations and the displays, but they can't. They have to communicate with the people in the class like the old days. Maybe they'd have to pass notes like people in my generation. Think they'll have to pass some notes like, hey, Jenny, you look cute. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, Tom, you look like a handsome dude. Yeah, maybe they'll have to do like notes instead of text. Yeah, they have to like write out a note on a paper to slide in class again. Whoa. That'd be pretty cool. People writing on a piece of paper? This sounds like my kind of party. Maybe the kids will enjoy doing algebraics, calculus, chemistry. I think they'll have a great fucking time. It's more fun than cell phones and video games and computer technology. It's way more fun to sit in a class listening to an old fart. Drone on for hours of your life. Kids are excited. So excited about it. There were some things I really enjoyed about school. Like, I liked the way that the boys' locker room smelled like balls. It smelled like piss and balls. It had that jock strap smell in there. It was fucking stanky. It smelled like fucking ball sacks in there. You know what the best thing about school though was? Oh yeah, they had pretty girls in there. Besides ball stank in the boys' locker room. And sweat stank. Pubescent sweat stank. Oh, man. Okay, the pretty girls. Yeah, that was good. Okay, they had pretty girls. Was that the best thing at K through 12? Pretty girls. There it is. That's where they're at. So, good deal. Good deal. Fucking shenanigans. That's what I love. I miss about school. I miss like the smoke bombs and the stink bombs and the fucking pranks and shit. That was good. That was a great part of school. Right? And all the kids would be going through the hallway and they go, oh, there's a stink bomb, man. Well, back in the more innocent days, I graduated before Columbine. You know, maybe some people got to worry about like, Todd can't get laid. He's retarded. Oh no, he's shooting up everybody. You know, maybe they got to worry about something more serious, I guess. Back in our day, it was like, oh crap, somebody let a stink bomb. Shit would be smoking everywhere. Now you got to worry about like, oh shit, that Asperger's kid can't get laid. He's got the AK. Now I guess kids today have you know more serious problems than the stink bombs of our youth. Yeah. Of the 1980s, 1990s alumni of school. You gotta worry about like incels and shit. Yeah. You gotta worry about Asperger's and mental illness going wild in the school. Getting access to firearms and bombs and shit. It's scary. And unfortunately, it's not just the high school people that have to worry about it. It's like the middle school and even the fucking elementary school. It was, really sad, but. So it's almost time for back to school. Or back to skull. Back to skull. Back to skull. But welcome back to Skull, kids. Yeah, I know it's not Halloween yet. Yeah, it's still July. Oh well. Halloween will come eventually. We won't have the neighbor that really... Okay, so the Mexican dude, the motorcycle guy that we had, he got really into the Mexican, like the Dia de los Muertos, and he put lots of skulls. He put lots of skeletons out for Halloween. He started putting his shit up like basically like September, even though it was like 2 months away since Halloween. And he would put the lights and the orange and the green and leave it up for like 2 months. So it was nice to look at. It got really, Halloween was obviously his favorite holiday. Or Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Oh, this is beautiful. So then, but these next door neighbors moved in after the motorcycle man. We called him Motorcycle Man because he had a lot of different vehicles. We called him Motorcycle Man because was he in a Mexican motorcycle gang? I don't know what kind of gang it was in. They did seem to have uniforms, and occasionally I would see, there'd be body bags sometimes and machine guns, and I don't know what my neighbor was doing, but anyways, no, they just had a motorcycle chapter. I'm just joking. There was no body bags. I'm playing. There was no AKs. Yeah. There was no GATs, as far as I know. I don't know what they did once their gang went out, on the road or whatever. So, just like a Chicano, like a motorcycle, like a Latino motorcycle gang or something. No big deal. Just a gang. Or maybe they have chapters, but it's not a gang. It seems like a gang, but maybe it wasn't a gang. Maybe it was just people who wear the same clothing and go motorcycling together. So, not gay. They're married. They have kids, but not queer. Not gay. So, just brothers. Like that show or whatever. Brothers of Liberty or whatever the shit was called. And but I think it's a lady that moved in with some kids. Just now. You know what? They don't have skeletons everywhere. They got gnomes. To decorate their place with gnomes. Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch David the Gnome when I was a kid. I loved it. My art hasn't went into gnomery, since I was like maybe 10 or so. I guess I was influenced by David the Gnome. So I really liked gnomes. They're like, what are gnomes? They're like, they're kind of, I guess they're kind of like Smurfs, but before Smurfs, but they're not blue. They're like these little wizard dudes. They're like these fantasy creatures called gnomes, and they live in, I guess they're from English mythology, Anglo-Saxon, mythology from England, the what some would consider the mother country, or at least I would. And so the motherland, right? England, the United Kingdom, in other words. The gnomes, they're the gnomes of the forest. They're like the forest guardians. most cultures have an idea of forest guardians, and those could be gnomes, fairies, sprites. Also, they could be called. They also have in Shinto they have forest spirits and animus. They have protectors of the forest, and they're magical creatures that live in the forest, like gnomes, sprites, dwarves, halflings, fairies. Yeah, I think you get the picture. But to have forest spirits, it's not exclusive to Anglo-Saxon or English folklore or myth. There's also many cultures around the world that have the idea of forest spirits and guardians. So it's pretty much a universal theme between different cultures of East and West and in between to have forest creatures. Forest spirits, Native Americans obviously have animalistic or animism. You know, they obviously have a lot of different, creatures of the forest and spirits and guardians and protectors and all that stuff. So different cultures, South, Central, North America. I believe the biggest conglomerate of Native Americans was called the Iroquois Federation, I think. It was a gigantic one, a gigantic conglomeration of various tribes in the Americas. I think it was about as organized as the Native Americans ever got, I want to say, at least to repel or to challenge foreign invasion from European powers, more advanced European powers. I don't look at my people as colonizers, as the left or the Marxists or the communists would of today. I would look at the European conquerors and the colonizers, the explorers, as heroes, even though this is the raw caveat of it, that tribal medieval civilizations fall against more superior and advanced ones, especially if they're more advanced in technology, especially technology of weapons. That's just Darwinism, survival of the fittest. The weak will perish, and the strong shall survive and prosper. So that's just Darwinism at play, is that, yeah. So in the future, if there was a rival power that was able to dominate the United States technologically, and we fell and we became enslaved, then not only would that be our fault, but also it would just be survival of the fittest if we fell to our enemies. So, yeah, I know that's not a comforting thought of history, but it's true. It's a raw, truth of it. If the United States and Western civilization fell to Islam or fell to radical militant Islam or leftist or Marxism or communism or the Chinese communists, then we would be losers. We would deserve our fate then. So, survival of the fittest usually means that you have a technological superiority over your rivals, whether it be the Chinese communists or the Russian Federation, Iran, North Korea, or if the Europeans had a technological advantage over tribal civilizations in Africa and Mesoamerica and North and South America. So that's also survival of the fittest, is that whoever has the best technology, the best warriors, the best military wins the game. And yeah, that's just the truth. Yeah, I know it's a raw, bitter truth, but it's one I can accept because it's true. Yeah. The bitter truth is not it's not comfortable. to accept raw and bitter truths, but it does make you feel better. It does make people feel better because they're like, okay, well, that's the raw skinny of it. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's the real deal. I can accept that because at least it's the truth. Not because it's comfortable, not because it's easy, but because it's true. Yeah. I know I've seen the videos where there's historical apologists that say, oh, the reason why Africa is fucked and poor is because they couldn't build a boat. And I'm like, well, they couldn't fucking build ships. They couldn't build a fucking boat. They're a bunch of fucking disorganized, primitive tribes. Primitive, unadvanced, undeveloped tribes. That's exactly the reason why they failed to conquer the Africans. Not only couldn't defend themselves, but couldn't conquer any part of the world, is because they couldn't build a fucking ship. That's exactly why. Silly. The left tries to say, oh, no, that's not the reason. They're just as skilled as the Chinese or the Europeans or the Indians or whatever or whoever. If our rivals were worthy in the Americas, Central and South America and North America, then they would have been more advanced. They would have been able to defend and repel us, Europeans. Well, that's a complicated subject because I'm part Cherokee Indian and I'm part Irish and English. So, of course, that muddies the water a little bit. But it's not us versus them. It's an infantile concept to begin with. I am he as you are me. John Lennon from the Beatles, I am the walrus. I am he as you are me, as you are we, and we are all together. See how they run like pigs from a gun. See how they fly. I'm crying. Expert texpert. Choking smokers. Don't you think that the laughing joke's on you? See how they fly like Lucy in the sky. See how they snide. I'm crying. It's a very deep song. Even though that does seem the Sgt. Pepper's Magical Mystery Tour era of the Beatles. Their heavy, marijuana and mushroom psychedelic drug use period does seem to reflect a time when they were introduced to a lot of drugs and Hinduistic ideas, particularly the Hinduistic idea of the Vedas, that we are all part of one chain, and that to get to a better world or experience, we have to acknowledge our roles. Is basically what I'm saying is that the separateness is an illusion. That's why he said, I am he as you are we. I am he as you are he, as you are she, as you are we, when we are all together. That's why he says it like that, because that's a Hinduistic idea. So. Yeah, those are fun days, wasn't it? Yeah, being young and listening to the Beatles, it's kind of a remarkable experience, Yeah, there's really nothing like it, right? Just being like 17 and hearing the Beatles for the first time and listening to all their albums, listening to all their songs, and just being really, really into it. And just every discovery, you could go, they made so many albums before they broke up, and then there's the solo work and everything. And so, yeah, it's like, you know, they got a lot of history from what 1964 to 1970 or so, I think, or 1969, 1970. So, yeah, there's a lot of records in there. So you could technically not even really be into music, and then you could listen to the Beatles, you know, all their albums. So you could go through, you know, Please Please Me, and you know, what is it? Meet the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, and you could do yeah, you could do all that. And then if you didn't like their early boy band stuff or their cover era, if you didn't like the early shit or the boy, you know, the mop top shit, then the shit gets even better eventually. So then it goes into Rubber Soul, and it goes into Revolver, and then, you know, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and then Magical Mystery Tour, Abbey Road, Let It Be. Yeah, I guess that was that the essential. Yeah, the problem with art itself is that it seemed like a human reflection of the human spirit. But obviously, an art is kind of a fiction, but there's some reality to the fiction of art, to the creativity. There's something about the soul of the art that is unique to the people and the players and the artists themselves. So, although one could look at art as a particular construct, or that it had no meaning beyond itself, but I would venture to say that's not true, because if you look at the Mona Lisa, somebody has a feeling, especially if you're there, you know, not looking at it in an art book or a history book. Hearing the Beatles for the first time when you're 16 years old, it produces a feeling. It produces neural pathways in the brain, connections, in other words. And so it can be quite an expansive mental journey through this musical voyage. You know, I was using Beatles as an example. There's not really a lot of bands like the Beatles, so that's pretty much like the prime example. Some of the best composers in the 20th century, John Lennon and Paul McCartney and Sir Paul McCartney. So the Lennon-McCartney team is regarded as some of the best composers of the 20th century. Oh, I had to refill my brisky. But I'm gonna go drain my wizard. Drain my wizard. Is that right, love? Some very good interpretive art there. That's close. The pelvic thrusting of the penis. It's a very primal artistic expression, I would say. Yeah. Very animalistic one. Yeah, I saw that Nine Inch Nails was touring North America. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like, I grew up listening to Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails, and, it's like, it would be cool if I felt like I was beyond the first time I listened, like if I felt like I'd evolved since the first time I heard Nine Inch Nails music in the late 80s stuff and the early 90s stuff. But I don't know, to me it's like I would go to the concert and I would be like, I don't really feel any different than I do when I first heard this when I was 11. So I don't know, that would be a problem for me. So the nostalgia wouldn't be like a great feeling. It would be kind of like more like a ominous feeling. Like the nostalgia would be like a reminder to me that I'm going to be dead, in the next less than 40 years. So to me, it wouldn't be a compelling experience. Not totally. So. Although I thought about it, maybe I'd like to hear "Head like a hoe, black as your soul. I'd rather die than give you control." I thought, man, you might want to hear that again, though. All those happy times. Or what about? No, one of my favorite ones, they had this one from Pretty Hate Machine. And my friend would play it, when we were like 12 years old in 1992. But it was from the Pretty Hate Machine. I think it came out like, what was that, 1988? I think it was like at that late 80s. It was like 1989 or something. So the album by Nine Inch Nails is called The Pretty Hate Machine. But I love this song because it was like, a guy who was on top and then he lost everything. And I love that song because it was like, I was up above it, but now I'm down in it. And it's like, I was up above it. It had like samples of like, like a crowd going, I was up above it, but now I'm down in it. And I always thought, oh man, that song, that's tits, that kicks ass. And I was like, man. No, my favorite part of the song, besides I was up above it, but now I'm down in it. I love that part of the Trent Reznor Nine Inch Nails. But I like the part where it's like, where he goes like, rain, rain, go away. Come back again some other day. Rain, rain, go away. Coming back again some other day. And wow. I thought this is great. Yeah, I mean, why were so many people listening to Nine Inch Nails? Because it's great, because it's good, all that too. But I think, I'm not saying there was posers that were listening to it because it was edgy. But no, I think most people that were listening to it that were my friends, we just had great taste in music. So that was it. Not to be a snob. I'm not saying... I know art is, in a lot of ways, subjective. Yeah. I would like to think that my friends had great taste in music, and so did I, too. So I do think I had great taste in music. So I don't usually listen to dark material because I don't want to awaken the dark part inside my soul. That's why I don't listen to a lot of dark material a lot. Not because I'm in denial of my dark side, but that, maybe I put it on if I'm angry or something like that. But I don't really like to listen. I like to listen to pretty music a lot because it's calming and soothing, and it's nice sounding. I like music that. So, no, it doesn't mean that I don't have I have Nine Inch Nails albums and Marilyn Manson and Opeth and all kinds of heavy shit. I don't have Portal I mean, that's, you know, fucking way too heavy. That shit that's like, oh, the portal of hell. Ah. Like, I don't have a lot of that because it's like, no way. I don't want to open a portal to hell for real because I'm listening to demonic music, right? So I'm like, oh, fuck no. So you got to be careful what the spiritual messages are. I think I can deal with the whole personal internal torture of Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails because I think he's a Christian, and Marilyn Manson and Alice Cooper. I can deal with those folks because I know they're on a spiritual journey, they're on a quest, and that's fine with me. So, you know, that makes sense to me. And I understand their rage. Like, when I listen to the music, I understand how angry they are and the anger. If there's anything I do understand, it's anger and rage. It may not be love. It may not be happiness, but I understand rage. So I understand their music very, very well. And so, you know, from a messaging perspective. It was a horrifying thought. I think I do feel love. It's just maybe men express it differently. So men express love through fixing the car or something, you know. Men express love through, you know, doing something, right? Doing something physical, doing something macho, you know, like wrestling the bear or saving the village or whatever it is. Yeah. Men want to do something. Yeah, physical, usually something savage, like hunt, you know. Men want to be the hero is the thing. Men want to be heroes. That's just not just a David Bowie song or a record. It's just people want to be heroes, right? Just in general. So, I mean, so women are from Venus and men are from Mars. Women are like, I want to talk about the way I feel about shit. And then men are like, I want to do something about it, though. I want to attack the problem from a physical action level. But women are like, oh, there's a problem. The ship is sinking. And then the man's like, well, we need to figure out a way to plug up the hole in the ship. You know, but the woman's like, well, I want to talk about the way I feel about the ship sinking. Yeah, I know that, but we need to fix the fucking hole in the fucking ship. That's different psychology, of course, between men and women. So they had that successful book, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah, I do believe that women do. It's not that men don't have emotions. They express it through action. Or they want to express emotions through action. That's why. Yeah, everybody can complain that the Titanic is fucking sinking, but what in the fuck are we doing about it? That's the crux. Everybody can whine, the sky is falling, but what are we doing about it though? That's got to be the central counterpoint of any problem. Should be, what is the solution to it then? point, logic, critical thinking skills. Where have these gone in modern society? Gone out the window. The baby with the fucking bathwater. So they want to replace human beings with a brain based off human beings that rips off human beings and our own brains and replaces us with fucking robots. Fascinating. Let me know how that works out in the next 20 years. Oh, I doubt it's going to work out. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that actually think that this AI, artificial intelligence, is going to work out any better than any dystopian science fiction film we've ever seen. Like, whether it be Terminator, Matrix, or fucking... What's the other one? Terminator, Matrix, Blade Runner. Yeah, there it is. Eldon Terrell, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, billionaires, trillionaires sitting in their tower as they overlook their new synthetic humans. Synthetic humans, which also means inauthentic humans. They want to create what was evolved or created by God for hundreds of thousands of years in 10. And how well you think that's going to fucking work out for the human species? It's going to work out like shit. It's going to work out like a fucking apocalypse. That's how it's going to work out, folks. James Cameron knows it. They know it too. They just don't care. Because they're derelict, out of touch, and they're fucking evil. Yeah. So the human species, human beings, have been evolving for at least, 100,000 years on the planet Earth. Suddenly, they want to replace us with androids and robots and sentient, artificial intelligent beings that have only been on the Earth for fucking, count it, 5 years, maybe, in the future 10, before it becomes supreme general intelligence. How is that going to work out for the human species? It's not. That's the secret. Now, what if it all works out and it's like Star Trek and I just seem like a rambling, paranoid old man? That would be fine to me. That would be fine. You know what? That would be an acceptable. That would be awesome if I was wrong. You know what would be really awesome? If the future was fucking incredible and there was robots and people were flying through space, exploring planets and having new humans and species, and what if it was like kind of a utopia? What if it was that? What if I was wrong to worry about AI like the Matrix and androids like the Terminator and Blade Runner? What if I was wrong? Totally wrong. And I just had to eat it. That would be better. Being wrong is infinitely better than being correct or right. In this case, I'd rather be wrong. Then I'd say, you know what? I was paranoid about technology and I was Ted Kaczynski and I was acting like the Unabomber.